Hi Kiwi and welcome back to another episode of Pikmin 1. We're coming up on the end of the run actually. We've got 2 parts left in the distant spring. Today I'm going to try and prioritize red Pikmin if I can, because the part that we need to get is blocked by a whole lot of fire. Now, I don't actually know what I have available to me to harvest to bolster our numbers early. Obviously the tadpoles that really like to spawn in the spring, not right by our base, are going to be a great source of initial numbers. But beyond that, have our shearwigs respawned? Okay, it looks like our shearwigs have respawned, so that's basically all we could ever ask for here. Now, do I have sprouts? I have sprouts at the not at the yellow, but I have a sprout at the red. Okay, so what we're gonna do here is let's get this one blue here to start hitting on the little tadpoles. We'll grab this yellow and this red. We'll do our usual shearwig bomb strat, and then we'll bring the 2 bodies back to the red onion and get as many numbers as we can early. I don't mind if this blue gets a couple numbers for itself. Really what we need is bodies, but preferably fireproof bodies over anything else. So let's grab our yellow, toss him into the bombs, grab that bomb, dismiss our red, and then wait for these guys to reset their positioning if we can. Just makes it more likely that we'll be able to reliably bomb them. I don't want to get too close so they'll aggro me, but now they should be fine. We toss the yellow. OP isn't a hero. OP isn't a hero. Oh my goodness, what a hero. He made it out alive though. He's a hero with a life. So get this on the red, get this on a yellow. We'll wait till the red's slightly out of the way so that we don't have to worry about the yellow stealing anything. And we're on the move. And what I think I do is, because these tadpoles really don't do a whole lot, they give us a single Pikmin, I'll use this free blue to try and collect the last shearwig towards base. And then what I'll do is I'll whistle the yellow off of its haul, let the red take over from there. Don't get it there. Perfect. Okay. And because we'll get this yellow collecting some nectar. Here's some grass. It is surprisingly difficult for me to see the grass with my current vision impairment, unfortunately. All right, let's go ahead and send you on another murder mission. That red should have made it back to its onion any second now, and we can send another blue Pikmin to take out a tadpole. All right, Reds get shearwigs left and right, should give us a lot of number very quickly, and they're relatively close, so that'll bump us up by 12 right away. Now, do we have any dwarf wolf bull bears that have respawned in the area? Because that would be the next giant sizable bolstering to our numbers in close proximity to base. We do actually have them. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw hands here just for safety so that I don't have a red eaten. Once one of them is dead, I'll send the other red in, but I don't want to risk any reds getting eaten this early. Each of these is worth 5, so we'll actually be at the Pikmin count we need pretty quickly, actually. All right, that's 1. Call our army of 4, a nice rowdy 4 Pikmin. We're going to have him come to us this way, and then I'm going to throw them behind him, so that I can punch him and the Pikmin can attack him from his side and hopefully not get eaten by running into his face. There we go. Perfect. All right, we'll drop all 4 Pikmin on one body. That's going to give us 5. We have 4 more to collect. Actually, perfect. We'll have another 5. So 1 red Pikmin can go bring this shearwig back to base. We'll bring these 5 with us, put that on the dwarf bull bear. And now we should actually be pretty close to the number we need, because we need... I don't know how much I think it's Olimar's cushioned seat that we have left. And then I forgot the other fancy part that we got dropped by the armored cannon beetle. But I believe it takes 30. So we're already pretty close to the number we need. Let's grab these 2 blue Pikmin and send them at the last tadpole. I've coined the term Mollywag in the hopes that that is actually what they're called. I'm not convinced it is. But if it is, I feel good about myself for my random niche Pikmin knowledge, and if I don't remember what it's called, well, I'm basically exactly where I left myself previously, so we're fine. All right, that bull bear has made it back to base, so we are sitting at a nice, I want to say 20... We're just over 20 red Pikmin now, and admittedly, actually, now that I think about it, we could probably just use the red candy pop that's over here to get the rest of that we need. We're almost there, at least. Let's go ahead and collect this nectar. We'll take all the flowers we can get. Let's go see what's respawned here. So there are a bunch of dwarf bull bears here, so that basically puts us at exactly the number we need. So just like before, I'm gonna kill at least 2 of these, and then I'll have the Pikmin come in and clean up the rest. I really am kind of tight on numbers, and while it may be faster to kill them, and I know if I dropped a Pikmin directly on their head, I could absolutely kill them in 1 hit. I just don't trust my aim with a GameCube controller. It's a lot easier to aim when you have motion controls, for sure. All right, that's 1. This should be 2. And honestly, we're so close to killing it already, I may as well make it 3. Now, the main concern is, are there any other enemies that have respawned that'll interfere with our pathing? Hopefully that is not the case, but let's go ahead and round these all up back to base. This should give us more than enough Pikmin for what we need. And I'll go ahead and get these flower Pikmin harvesting for nectar so that we can be as fast as possible with the remaining count. All right, there goes the beeping. Didn't need any more of that, thankfully. Bull bears are on their way. We'll take the blues with us and we'll put them on the cushioned seat. The main concern is, are there going to be things like sheer grubs that spawn that get in the way, but they can only kill 1 Pikmin at a time, so they're honestly not actually that threatening, all things considered. All right, there's good. They found they found 2 splats of nectar, which is great. So let's go ahead and pick all these reds, and then I think we'll be, yeah, we've got 44 Pikmin. We can't move both parts at the same time, but we're pretty darn well off at this point. We do seem to be missing some. I'm not sure. Okay, they're just sprouting. There we go. Are they all sprouting? Are we really missing 10? Oh, they're just sitting in the center of the onion. I couldn't see them. They're so tiny on my screen. My vision does not let me see tiny things. I can't read fine print at all right now. All right, let's see if we see the music is playing threatening sounds again. It's like the nectar is a scary entity apparently. So what we'll do first is let's prioritize moving the piece that needs red Pikmin. So what I'll do is I'll dismiss everyone here, and I'll meet them around the other way. And that'll also help me figure out where the shearwigs spawn, so I can try and route around them, potentially. Did the other tiny dwarf bull bears... Okay, the rest of the dwarf bull bears did not respawn, so we're good that they should all be all... There they are. See, that was pretty well timed. And, I mean, even if these Pikmin catch on fire, it's not the end of the world. Ideally, those 2 are just going to stay there. That's fine. So let's get you guys moving. Actually, you know what? There's no fire in the way of where we need to go, so it literally didn't matter that we had reds here. It just made it a little bit safer on entrance, I suppose. Unless they're going to do some weird shenanigans with their pathing, which is always possible in Pikmin. Pikmin really does like to play weird with their pathing. All right, let's figure out how many Pikmin are necessary for this other part, which I believe is just around this way. The shearwigs are spawning, but even if they catch 1, they're not catching 44. We should be fine. Let's see what we've got here. Oh, there it is. So Olimar's cushioned seat, right? At last, my pilot's seat. Once I get this installed, my cockpit will finally be back in order. Soon my ship will be starting to look more and more like the dolphin of old. Ah, the memories. And it takes how many? 25. So yeah, we can't lift that with our current number while moving the other piece, but that's fine, because this piece will absolutely make it back to base in time. Arguably, we could try and kill some of these shearwigs and just bring more numbers. It probably doesn't matter enough to try, but I'm going to do it just because I have nothing to do for the next set couple minutes, so I may as well, you know? All right, where are you, bud? I saw you earlier. You can actually see them kind of sticking out of the ground if you look carefully enough. All right, he's hovering over water, and now he's not. There we go. All right, get us another red, why don't you? Yeah, I'm just out on... I'm out to murder because I can murder, not because I need to murder. That's a concerning statement out of context. Maybe even in context, I'm not sure. All right, here, you guys go ahead and bring this back. Oh, wow, the piece is already there. I guess it didn't matter. This is fine. All right. Bowspirit, the so-called face of the dolphin. In the point of fact, I designed it. I have now recovered 28 out of 30. 1 more to go. All right, you guys can go ahead and collect that. Let's go get our army back to base, or back to the last piece, and then we will be done with the distant spring at long, long last. I'm very thankful that we can actually manage to get the last piece today, because I really did not want to spend an extra day here, and we're making really good time. I think in my original attempt, I took up to day 24 or 25 or even 26 to make it all the way to the final trial. That said, there were definitely some days where we could have optimized better. I imagine this could easily be done in like probably 15 days if you 1, use motion controls for sure, and 2, just optimize the routing a bit more. I don't have enough experience with Pikmin to know what optimized routing looks like. There we go. I was like, come on guys, I know you can do it. And I think while these guys are carrying that, we'll deal with the shearwigs that are going to spawn here by knocking them into the air. It doesn't even matter if they get kills. We're just trying to get them out of the way and prevent them from causing trouble. That's 1, and... there we go, there's 2. All right, may as well bring these back to base with us. Not like we have anything else to do with these Pikmin. Though I think there are a couple more that might spawn on the way in. Let's see, is there another one? There it is. All right, we'll try and take this out before it becomes a threat, and we did. Where's that guy? Where are they going? Oh, they're going that way? Really? Okay. You never really know where the Pikmin are going to path to, do you? Anyway, since we're done here, I don't think it hurts to harvest everything because we don't care about number count anymore. And now we just comfortably wait in base for the final piece of the distant spring to make it back. A pretty solid day. I mean, obviously we only had 2 pieces to collect and they were very accessible. And unlike the previous 2 days, we had a large number of shearwigs right in our base ready for harvesting, so we didn't have to route around like just the minimal options for Pikmin propagation, but nonetheless. Honestly, it may have been faster to skip a couple days in another area, like just go to sunset, and then have the enemies respawn. Like, it obviously wouldn't reduce our day count, and I would like to see our day count as low as possible, but it would have saved us some waiting, I suppose, and made the days a bit easier for what I wanted to accomplish. With that said, though, Distant Spring complete in 3, 2, 1. The pilot siege is back in the Dolphin. 1 part to go, and then we have beaten Pikmin 1 with only 3 Pikmin starting each day. That said, I have bad news for you, Kiwi. The next area does not play nice with this challenge, and we're going to have to smudge the rules a little bit to make it work. Pilot seat. Picturing this in the cockpit, images of me lifting off into space begin to fill my tax brain. It fills me with inspiration once again. I have recovered 29 of 30 parts, increasing the Dolphin's capabilities. My search can cover a wider area. The music here is so happy. Yay! You don't have a little jingle that plays like in, or there's like a little sound effect that in other Pikmin games I think plays that makes very happy. It's like, I think it's like just a little chime of like 3 notes or something, but it still makes my brain do a happy. Anyway, Kiwi, I think at this point you know exactly what's going to happen here. But why don't we consider one thing? And the one thing is, in the next area, there is an immovable box that takes 10 Pikmin. Now, there is actually a way to bypass that using glitches. I don't know if those glitches are possible in the Switch version of Pikmin 1. And in the GameCube version, absolutely, you can probably glitch yourself through a wall using a bomb rock. I cannot do that here. So, what it means is, unfortunately for us, or unfortunately for the validity of this challenge, 10 red Pikmin will need to survive. Everyone else, I've got bad news for you. You don't get to be so lucky. Do we have any enemies that are still alive? Ooh, you know what, Kiwi? We haven't really gotten to like just have a fun little extinction. Let's take these 64 out of 69. Wait, what? Do I have other sprouts somewhere? Oh, maybe I have sprouts over here. Oh, I forgot about that little cluster of reds and whatever. It's fine. You know, let's go embrace Kiwi's favorite enemy in the game, the water dwebble, and just have a nice little fun time with them. Hey everybody, you need a snack? How about a nice raw Pikmin? This is kind of gruesome. I'm going this way because I know there are 4 of them, and actually like 5 of them if I kite them in the right direction. So come along everyone, we're having a little meal together. Family lunch date, family lunch date. All right, and now that all 5 of them are together, be free my friends. All right, who wins? 5 water dwebbles or the few remaining Pikmin? I've got bad news for the Pikmin. At least we had 1 casualty, or they had 1 casualty, but I don't think we're having much more than that. All right, that's enough. Hey, you can't bring things back to the onion. That's not how this is allowed. Okay, anyway, Kiwi, let's go to sunset. We'll end the day. And then I'm probably gonna take a break. I could use a break. I've been recording all day. I've recorded pretty much everything since, I think 18 parts ago, like when we were at 18 parts. So I think I'm due for a break. Kiwi, I hope you've enjoyed watching, and I will see you for the final challenge, which is going to be rough on this challenge, admittedly, but you'll see soon enough. Oh, I probably should read this too, right? 22 days since impact. At last, but a single part remains. Since I've recovered 29 of the missing parts, the Dolphin's power is near capacity. In the 4 steps below, I see a region where my final part must lie. Clearly, this is my final trial. My life support fails in 8 days. Courage. All right, now we're gonna fast forward. There's gonna be a lot of fast forwarding. I should spoil that ahead of time. We have a lot of things that take like 3 days to build, or 2 days to build. So see you in a little bit, but the final trial is up next. Hi Kiwi, and welcome back to a new episode of Pikmin 1, except it's an old episode because we're halfway through the previous episode now that I realize that it's been several days, I think it's been 2 days since the last recording. That said, we're heading into the final trial now, as I mentioned in the previous episode. Unfortunately, the stage here is a bit of a run killer. There is no way to generate Pikmin. There is no way to carry our, I believe, 40 Pikmin count requirement piggy bank, but we can absolutely kill Emperor Bulblax with a single Pikmin of each color. Granted, we're likely going to convert them to reds with this candy pop bulb, but we technically did start with one of each color. Now, what we're going to start off doing is we're just going to go ahead and likely fast forward through most of this section. The reason for that is we're going to be doing exactly what we did on our first day of the playthrough too, and that is building. Unfortunately, each of these bridges take pretty much a full day to build with the number of Pikmin we presently have. What I'm going to try and do is we'll have the yellow wait here, and I'm going to abuse some distance and just call this red to us. Come on up. All right, good. So yeah, we're going to have 2 Pikmin building this bridge, and we're going to, this is awkward. Come on, you can do it. All right, we don't reactivate this Pikmin by walking into it, because we push it into the water, so I've learned. And then what we can do is we can use this yellow to grab bomb rocks. Now the thing about this is there actually is a way to glitch myself over to Emperor Bulblax without the use of anything else, but I don't really know if I can do it. The idea is you can use the resting animation to become an active hitbox and possibly get pushed through the wall. I don't think you can do that on the Switch version of the game. If you can, I certainly have never managed to do it. It may also be that you need this Pikmin to drop the bomb on the ground, and I have no means of doing that either, because the best way to get a Pikmin to drop a bomb would be to go and pull it back to its onion, but I think the Pikmin would die in the process of doing that, and the bomb rock will despawn each day, so we're gonna just pretend like we had a chance and go ahead and get this bomb onto land. Whoop. Well, almost made it. I remember being able to do this in my previous attempt, so man, I don't really remember if I could or not. I'm pretty sure I could. It's just a little bit... I guess we'll just have everyone build the bridge for now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fast forward here, and while I'm fast forwarding and we basically wait a whole 9 minutes for this bridge to be built, I am going to go train Herblore in Old School RuneScape. I'll see you in a little bit, love. Alright, that's one bridge done. You know what we get to do tomorrow? A whole nother bridge that will take the whole day, so... Womp womp. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. I did it. Alrighty, so... yeah, that's basically how... that is the joy of the final trial when you only have 3 Pikmin. 23 days since impact. The creatures of this planet breathe a deadly poisonous gas, oxygen. At present, my spacesuit can filter out the oxygen. But if the batteries for my life support system should fail, I shudder to think about it. The question is, what does Olimar's people actually breathe? I'm actually very curious. Maybe it's just carbon dioxide? I don't know. With how much with how many, like, plants and fruits those people consume, I'd imagine that they have oxygen somehow involved in their systems. But, I don't know. Anyway, alright, day 24, we're going to basically continue at what we were doing, we just need to break down the wall. The way I'm going to do this is I'm going to grab my blue Pikmin, my red Pikmin, have them start building the other bridge, and get the yellow bombing as much as of everything that I can. And then we fast forward a whole nother time, because we're spending the whole day just breaking down doors again. Woohoo! Woohoo! Alright, so we get our 1 red from the onion. We get our 1 blue from the onion. And we collect a yellow sprout because I threw the only remaining yellow of its kind into the water and then abandoned it completely. You know, when you think about the Pikmin likely having thoughts and feelings, it makes this far more morbid than I want to admit. Alright, so I think starting off, I'm not convinced I'm getting these guys. I guess I can get blue onto this without needing any help, so let's at least get him over here. Actually, you know what? I have an idea. I have an idea to use the game's mechanics to my advantage. So yellow, you wait here. Red, you go drown. Blue, you go be a hero. Blue, what are you doing? No, save him, save him, save him, please. Blue, blue, blue. Okay, cool. That wasn't really how I wanted it to go, so let's get red a little bit closer to this. Oh, I'm so bad at this. Wow. Blue, 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 red, red, blue. Well, I thought I could be fancy. Instead, I am immediately punished. Let's try that again. It seems like for some reason the blue is not really sure what to do. Oh, there we go. Okay, it worked. Woohoo! Look at that. So clever. Unfortunately, the red is breaking the door, so we're SOL. Whatever. The bomb rocks shouldn't kill that red while we're trying to bomb it with the yellow, but in theory, it does in fact work. I just, and I got it on the first try. I definitely got it on the first try, but it looks like we're gonna have to, maybe not be so clever after all. Let's go ahead and find our bomb rocks, and we've got to get 3 into that wall. I'm pretty sure I could manage to throw this yellow across the way if I got just far enough. Oh no, where are you, yellow? No, no, no. I saw him running to us. We're not gonna let that happen. Honestly, maybe what I should have done is had a team of 3 yellows to start so that I could bomb rock this sooner. Maybe that's an optimization I'll do if we don't finish this in a day, but we should be able to finish this in a day. All right, bomb number 1. I mean, you kind of know what's going to happen from here, Kiwi. Am I at liberty to fast forward? I feel like it's only right. We're not really going to make anything fancy happen while we're building a bridge either. So let's say I just fast forward to when we have access to the final door, which will be basically tomorrow, unfortunately. How did our red end up in the water? What happened here? I must have whistled him. Well, okay, yeah, we're gonna fast forward until this door is open and everyone is building. Okay, wall destroyed. Everything went exactly according to plan, and we have 3 yellows now. Now we fast forward the building. Also back to herblore training. Isn't this the most riveting gameplay you have ever seen, Kiwi? I know it is for me. Alright, so we didn't even finish building the bridge. So tomorrow we will finish building the bridge, we'll break down the last door, and we will gain access to the Emperor themselves. But, can you see why I was not looking forward to this final area? It's just, everything about it makes this challenge miserable. But on the bright side, at the very least, we have ourselves a final boss battle that I am committed to seeing through to the end. 24 days since impact. No matter how many of their compatriots fall in battle, the Pikmin fight on. Would this have been a peaceful planet had I never come? No, surely the Pikmin lived like this before my arrival. They must have. In any case, I must not waver if I hope to return home. My task now is to do whatever I can to recover all of the dolphin's missing parts. Alrighty, so it really doesn't feel like we're making a lot of progress, but that's why we're fast forwarding, because no one wants to sit around and watch all of this happen in slow motion, and I've almost gotten a herblore level in the time that it's taken for this to happen. I'm almost 90 herblore actually, which is cool, I guess, for anyone who cares. I think that's basically just me. Kiwi can be excited for me because I'm excited for me, I guess. But all right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna go finish building that bridge, we'll grab some bombs, and we will have ourselves access to the arena, and then I'll probably just reset the day so that we have as much time as possible to fight the Emperor, because we actually really do kind of need it, honestly. Alrighty, so with that in mind, let's grab our one of each color, because technically that is how the challenge goes, right? 1 yellow, 1 red, and 1 blue. And then we convert red and yellow to yellow again, because we're going to need several bomb rocks. So blue and red go in here, and this yellow can go get its first bomb rock. Or actually, I guess we got it trained on the bridge for now. Maybe I should have built that first, now that I think about it. It doesn't really matter. The way we spend the day is about the same either way, I guess. But basically the plan for Emperor Bulblacks, I may as well explain that a little bit before we fast forward what we need to. Oh, well, that was a very fast bridge building moment. I guess we go back, grab that yellow, and then the sprouts should happen by then, and we can get our bombs and start bombing open doors. But basically the plan here is up on this ledge over to our right here, there is a patch of grass we can use to get nectar. There are also several other spots near the Bulblax arena that we can use to get our Pikmin's flowered. But basically we're going to convert everyone to red, and then we are going to bum rush the Emperor and do as much damage as we can in as short a time period as possible. As it turns out, bomb rocks actually end up doing less damage per second for us unless we end up stunning the Emperor, but it's really challenging to reliably do that because the Pikmin with the bombs have been programmed to just stand still in front of the Emperor rather than throw the bomb at him if you angle them incorrectly. And even a single Pikmin death here is effectively a reset point because we just do not do enough damage without at least 3 Pikmin, is what I believe. There may be a way to do it without 3 Pikmin, but I am not convinced there is. So with all that said, we've got our 3 bombs. Let's go break open the doors that confine us. And not drown the bomb Pikmin in the process, please. Not counting on my skill set to really carry me here, unfortunately. Alright, so heading forward, there are 2 doors that we need to bust down, I believe, but both of them should die relatively quickly, either to 3 bomb rocks or to 1. They're pretty tiny doors. Oh right, I forgot one minor issue here. We have an impassable box. So here is the ultimate, how should I phrase this? This is the ultimate misgiving of the challenge, is the 10 Pikmin box that we have to move. And unfortunately, like I mentioned earlier, the only way to really do that is with red Pikmin. And to get those red Pikmin, we are going to have to break the rules of the challenge just this once. But mind you, that does mean we managed to get pretty much through the entire challenge. 1 second. We managed to get through almost the entire challenge. Am I really? Please, yellow. There we go. Okay. We managed to get through pretty much the entire challenge starting with only 3 Pikmin, so I'm pretty happy with that. The reason why I'm tossing all 10 Pikmin in here is it will be faster to sprout them. It does mean I lose some flowers, but the candy pop buds wait like a full minute since the last Pikmin entered their gullet to even consider shooting them out, and it's just faster to toss 10 in, because if it gets 10, it caps out, and then it will go ahead and just spawn them all. But basically, do not look at the screen. These 10 Pikmin do not actually exist, and they will cease to exist very quickly after a certain point. But that's basically, this is really genuinely the only the single only part in the entire challenge that we just could not do without a couple extra friends along for the way, which is pretty cool. It's pretty cool that you can beat almost the entirety of Pikmin 1 with only the bare minimum of starting resources. You could, I bet there's a way to route it so you only need to start with 1, honestly. It feels very doable, at least. Alright, so please ignore the fact that these reds exist. They actually did not exist, and here, have a nice picture of a cat instead of some Pikmin. Alright, let's go bomb some doors. We saw nothing. We had the ability to move that box without any... Oh wait, I shouldn't have thrown all those. Darn it, there go all our bombs. Yep, see, that only took 1. I'm gonna trust that this wall back here only takes 1 as well. Thankfully, this last Pikmin was thinking more for me than I was. Does it only take 1 bomb? Brilliant, it does. Okay, so we're gonna go to sunset and we're gonna start our Emperor fight on day 3. Now, what I will do to speed things along a little bit is I'm going to convert these guys to 1 of each color so that we have our 1 of each color. And you know what, honestly, as much DPS as reds would do, I feel like it's only appropriate that we take out the final boss with 1 of each color. So here's what we're gonna do. Let's commit to the bit. We're gonna get an extinction. We're gonna go into Emperor Bulblax's lair, and we are going to put him in his place on day 26. Pikmin extinction in a second, any second now, and there we go. It's interesting, you lose control for your character from Olimar for a second, and you just start running forward. Anyway, okay, there is our Pikmin extinction. It would be only appropriate that we have a Pikmin extinction going with the 3 last colors that we have, or 1 of each color, and take out Emperor Bulblax with the true nature of this challenge, I suppose. But I do think I'm going to cut the recording here so that I can comfortably edit this section, and then I know there are going to be some reset points up ahead. Bulblax with only 3 Pikmin is pretty rough. The Pikmin have all perished because of my own carelessness. I am an utter disgrace as a leader. Oh my goodness, Olimar, no, it was intentional. How can I continue to collect parts without them? Still, the onions join me in low orbit, as if the Pikmin extinction had never happened. I shan't sleep tonight. Wow. You know, this game does get dark sometimes. Alright, we're gonna save. We are locked in. We have 4 days left on the clock to gather our final part. Kiwi, let's do this.